Am I your mate? Am I your mate? Who you talking to? Who are you talking to? Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another installation of And She Rants. My name is Olamide, and today's topic is offense. What really is offense? What does it mean to be offended? By definition, being offended is being resentful or annoyed as a result of a perceived insult. Keyword is perceived. Sometimes we allow people's actions or their perceived intent to make us bitter, angry, and resentful about them or about the situation. And I found that there are typically 3 reasons why we do things like that. So today I'm going to walk you through the 3 reasons why you might get insulted easily, talk you through why that is, what you should do to address each of those 3 things. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about some things that I've been trying to do to kind of get over this hump of constantly wanting to fight people. Here we go. The first reason you may get insulted easily or offended easily is because a lack of love. I literally went to my Bible. I was like, look, God, we got to talk about this. Why am I getting crunk at individuals every 5 seconds? Like, I don't understand. And I went to Proverbs 10:12, and there it literally talks about how love covers all offenses. And I'm just like, okay, but see, that's God's love. Okay, God's love covers all offenses. Mine is not meant to cover offenses. But I've realized that in many circumstances where I'm angry, where I take people's words and I perceive them to be an insult to me, whether or not they actually were malicious and I get angry about them, it's usually in a situation where I lack a love for that person, for that situation, where I'm angry or bitter about or resentful about the situation I'm in or about the dynamic between that individual. So everything that they say and everything that they do actually makes me angry. And that has a lot to do with the lack of love. To address a lack of love in a circumstance that may cause you to be easily offended, one strategy is to not clap back. That's right, I said it. Do not clap back. We're living in an era where clapbacks are literally what we live for. I live for them on Twitter. Seeing somebody just snatch you up for some disrespectful behavior that you displayed, some disrespectful words. But that's so common that we find that it's almost like you lose respect if you don't let people know that you're not about to play me, right? You lose a sense of respect if you just allow people to just move and walk off what you perceive as an insult because they're walking all over you. If they don't snatch them up in the comments. We see it on the Shade Room and they're snatching people up and saying, oh, celebrity clapback XYZ. But again, I went to the Bible and I was like, okay, what does the Bible say? Literally in Proverbs 19:11, it talks about how wise people earn respect by overlooking wrongdoings. Wise people earn respect for overlooking wrongdoings. That's in Proverbs 19:11. Who would have thunk it? We literally think that without clapping back at someone, we lose respect. We allow them to disrespect us. It's like, you're not going to play me. Knuck if you buck. What's up? But in reality, you actually earn respect by overlooking people's wrongdoings, by not feeding into the trolls that may be in your comment section, by not feeding into the trolls that might be living in your life, by not allowing people's insults to affect you. You actually earn respect that way. And I've realized that's true. I respect the celebrities that don't feel like they need to clap back at every single person. I respect the celebrities who clap back in love. They say, you know what? I don't know what you're going through, but it may be something personal and like much love to you. So one way to deal with the lack of love that exists in these like easily offended moments is to just remove yourself and allow yourself to be wise and overlook the wrongdoings that people do to you. That's a way that you can show love in the moment. Is just overlook it. Just say, look, that has to do with you. That has nothing to do with me. And I wish you well. I wish you well. Number 2 is that in situations where you get easily offended, there may be a lack of security. Okay, now first of all, so we were in my small group, right? We were talking, we were like, okay, why do people get offended? People were like, I don't get offended because I'm secure in myself. And I was just like, wait a minute. You know when you just kind of feel attacked and like no one's attacking you, but you literally know that it's about you because you're like, well, I already know I'm not secure in myself, but that's not what I came here today to talk about. I came here to talk about getting offended, realizing that the 2 things are related and just being like, whoo, my chest. That was kind of the situation that I had. Just realizing that sometimes you get easily offended because what the person says hits a specific insecurity that you have. I know that, I can get easily offended when it comes to like maybe a perceived notion about like the way that I dress or how I look or how I decide to do my hair. I wear my hair natural and I was bald at one point, and then now, I wear like wigs and weave. And whenever people have something to say about that, I get angry, largely because in either of those situations, someone has made me feel uncomfortable about the way that I look, either with my wigs or without my wigs or with this or without that. Those places of insecurity that you have, someone can say one thing that hits you in that place, that knowing place of, or that not knowing place of you being insecure about a certain aspect of yourself. And you're just like, you know what? I'm tired and let's fight. It's time for me and you to fight each other, okay? You go off on them. You get so angry. You let it rip. You give it to them because you were insulted, but really you're insecure about whether or not what they're saying about you is true. So a way to address a lack of security and easily getting offended is to know who you are. Learn who you are, know who you are, and love who you are. You know what? I have bars. I'm not going to get into that today, but I do. But learn who you are, know who you are, and love who you are. How do you do each of those things? Learn who you are. Listen, I've literally had to ask myself, what is the real thing I want to do in this situation? What does my authentic self feel about XYZ? What does my authentic self want to do in this moment? Not who I feel I have to be, not the poised version of me, none of that. Who am I actually? Learn those aspects. What do I actually like to eat when I'm not dating somebody and I don't have to pretend that I am interested in this nasty food that you took me to? What do I actually like? What are the things I like to do when I have free time and really like to do? Not just sleep, because I do enjoy sleep, but what do I really enjoy? I like watching YouTube videos and watching people sing. I enjoy going to hear people with new, different voices sing. Like, I know that of myself. I like reading. I enjoy doing that. Learn that and then know that. I mean, you should be able to speak to it because one of the things is that when someone says something about who you are not, if you know yourself, you can speak right to that right there. You can speak right to it right there. Like, no, I don't like that. Oh, no, I never did that. I would never say that. I would never do that. I would never speak that. You have to know yourself so you can speak to the wrong things or the negative perceptions or whatever lies that people say about you that makes you get offended, right? You won't even get offended because you can speak to that and say, no, I know who I am. That's not me. Whatever you said, that's not me. I'm sorry. And then the third thing is to love yourself and to actually love those parts about you that make you unique. Actually love the fact that you're weird. Everybody says that they're weird, right? And everybody kind of is weird. And people are weird on different levels, and we're not going to judge that. But I know that I've been told before, like, you're weird. And it was like with a face of disgust. I mean, like, that person was looking at me like, you're weird. And I find it uncomfortable. And that, I mean, like, it stuck with me for so long. I was saying, I knew I was weird. I learned that I was weird. I knew I was weird, but I didn't love that I was weird. So then I felt like I was overcompensating, telling people, just by the way, just so you know, I'm weird. And like, if that's going to be uncomfortable for you, then just go away right now. And always feeling I have to explain myself. Once I got to a place where I loved that about me, I'm just like, you're going to find out when you do. You're going to like it or you're not. And that's what it is. So loving yourself, and that part as well is like a part of like being secure in who you are. Learning yourself, loving yourself, and knowing yourself gives you a sense of security about who you are that will not allow people's insults, attempted insults, or perceived insults. You could even be like, I don't know what you're trying to say. I know it's something that's a little bit disrespectful, but we're going to let that pass, okay? But if you love who you are, you know who you are, you've learned who you are, it won't matter. And you ultimately won't get easily offended by the things that people say. And number 3 is that sometimes we get easily offended because there is a lack of patience in us. There's a lack of patience. What do I mean by that? We don't let people explain what they mean. When I talked about the definition of what offense is, it talked about perceived insult. Perceived, that's what we think happened based on our own understanding and interpretation of what the other individual said. Now, a lack of patience could mean that we don't even allow the person to explain themselves. We just, boop, I heard what you said. I took what I heard I've spun it into what I think it is. And now I'm mad. Now I'm angry. Now I'm resentful. And I don't have the patience to hear you out. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Don't try to bring that over here. I know what you meant. I know what you meant to say. You want to change it around. You want to turn it around, whatever. I'm not going to accept that. Sometimes we do that because we have a lack of patience that doesn't allow us to hear out or understand where people are coming from, because we just so quick to get angry, so quick to be mad, so quick to just think that we know what's happening. We don't take the time to think things through. We don't take the time to think of their perspective. A lack of patience will literally have you stewing over something someone didn't even say because you misinterpreted what they meant. Been there, okay? Been there. So the way that I address a lack of patience is just growing that patience muscle. The way that you address that is to just grow that patience muscle. How do you do that? You just ask questions. Oh, what do you mean by that? I'm sorry. So what I'm hearing you say is XYZ. Is that what you meant? Is that correct? Okay. What I took from what you said is this, and this is how that made me feel. Explain yourself. Talk through things. Have the patience to have conversations about whatever it is that you're discussing, about whatever it is that makes you feel insulted. Can you imagine that someone insults you and you just hold on to that? You don't even want to hear nothing. You don't want to have this conversation. You just want to fight. Okay? That lack of patience will not lead you to positive places in your life. Okay? You need to strengthen that patience muscle where you actually dig into understanding what people mean. A lot of my own being offended has come from miscommunication. It's come from me thinking I know what someone means and not being willing to ask. So strengthen that patience muscle and work through that. So the last thing I wanted to say was just like, how am I dealing with being offended as easily as I personally am? Okay, I can literally read something on the internet and be like, who's she talking to? Who? But the thing that I've done recently is, for me, the major thing about my getting offended is about a lack of security. Let's just be honest with ourselves. I would love to say that I'm the confident person 100% of the time that I maybe portray myself to be by making these videos and feeling confident enough to get in front of a camera. But some things that people say can just pierce me sharp as a knife. They pierce me sharp as a knife. So the way that I deal with that is that I try to move into this space of, what is the insecurity that you touched? This is an exercise I did literally yesterday. What are the things that have made me the most offended recently? What's that list? And to each of them, what is the insecurity that pressed on? And then you know what I did? I just built a Post-it note and I wrote down literally an affirmation in the opposite of that insecurity. Oh, I am beautiful. Oh, I have great long legs. Oh, I'm deserving of love at this weight, or at that weight, or at this weight. Like, just all the insecurities, things that have made me offended. You know, maybe a family member said that you gained weight and you're mad, and it's really just because you're just feeling insecure about your body. I spoke to myself, you're deserving and you look good at any weight that you are, sis. Just speak to it. Write it down on a Post-it, put it somewhere public where you can see it. I have it on my wall next to my desk, and just speak to that thing and tell yourself, I'm deserving. I am loved. I am X, I am Y, I am Z, to whatever it is that insecurity space is. And watch yourself just, massage those places of insecurity to the place where you feel secure in them. And suddenly, guess what? Things can't offend you because you know who you are. Really quickly, make sure you subscribe. Here's my little, let's see if it pops up. If it doesn't pop up, we're just going to ignore that little motion that I did. But subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure you follow, stay updated with the different rants that I'm doing. Follow me on social media. I'm at Anshi Codes on Instagram and Twitter and on Facebook. My name is Olamide, and I'll see you next time for the next rant.